Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and look at how combining Google Health Tech with a massive gaming franchise is literally solving the problem of boring sleep tracking. I mean, for years, getting people to actually care about their sleep hygiene has been a massive uphill battle. Let's be real, building lasting health habits is notoriously tough, mostly because the data we get is dry, it's unengaging, and honestly, it kind of feels like homework. But integrating the world of Pokemon into a daily health routine, well, that might just be the ultimate fix for an issue that's plagued wellness tech for a decade. Today, we're going to do a chapter-wise review of this device. We've got 5 parts to get through. 1. A gamified sleep experience. 2. Design, sleepy blue band. 3. Tech, detailed sleep tracking. 4. Gameplay, fueling Pokemon sleep. And finally, number 5, price and premium perks. Let's get into it. Starting with Chapter 1, a gamified sleep experience. So the core concept here is simple, but it is incredibly effective at shifting our behavior. Instead of waking up and feeling obligated to review some sterile graph of your heart rate, your time asleep becomes the actual active currency you use to progress in a game. You're literally turning your real-world rest into virtual rewards. It's one thing to tell someone they need 8 hours of rest, right? But it's entirely another to give them a tangible, super fun incentive to actually get it. Shifting the motivation from this tedious morning chore to an interactive game fundamentally changes how we interact with our own health data. It completely hacks the psychology of habit formation. Moving right along to Chapter 2, Design, Sleepy Blue Band. Because look, if you're going to wear something to bed every single night, the physical design is absolutely just as important as the software. Just notice the textured weave on this micro-adjustable strap. For a sleep tracker to be genuinely effective over the long haul, it has to be unobtrusive. And this band is specifically engineered from the ground up to be incredibly lightweight and soft. It wraps around the wrist securely without bringing the bulk of a traditional smartwatch into the bed with you, which is a massive feat of engineering when you think about all the sensors packed inside. And what this design translates to in the real world is all-night comfort that never distracts you from actually getting the rest you need. If you've ever tried sleeping with a flagship smartwatch, you know the struggle, right? They're chunky, they get caught on your sheets, and they can actually disrupt the very sleep they're trying to monitor. So the primary goal of this micro-adjustable band is to sit so lightly on your wrist that you literally forget it's there. That allows you to sleep completely naturally while the device does all the heavy lifting in the background. Plus, this design features a custom silk print of Sleeping Pikachu, which is such a fantastic nod to the game's most famous nabber. This is really where the aesthetic charm shines, and why this specific branding matters so much to the target audience. The soft blue colorway is calming, it's very bedroom appropriate, but that little silk print, that elevates the device from a sterile health monitor into a true collector's item for fans. It brings a playful, lighthearted energy to what is otherwise a sophisticated piece of health hardware, making it something you actively want to put on before bed. All right, Chapter 3, Tech, Detailed Sleep Tracking. So, on one side of the equation, the sensors are quietly working away all night to record exactly how long you spend in deep sleep versus light sleep, generating your overall sleep score. But on the other side, we see the real value, which is actionable, personalized coaching insights. You know, having raw biometric data is essentially useless if you don't have the context to understand it. And that's exactly where the Google Health algorithms step in. They take those raw numbers and translate them into clear conversational guidance, like, say, noticing if you are awake longer than usual and prompting you to reflect on how you feel. It really transcends passive data collection and acts as an automated, personalized sleep coach right on your phone. Now let's jump into Chapter 4, Gameplay, Fueling Pokemon Sleep. We all know a frictionless onboarding process is absolutely vital for any piece of health tech. If a user has to jump through complicated hoops just to connect their data, they're going to abandon the device long before a habit has a chance to form. Well, the interface here is incredibly clean and intentional, seamlessly bridging the gap between your health data and the game via Health Connect. They've intentionally removed the friction, meaning you definitely don't have to be a tech wizard to get this working. The system just smoothly guides you to plug your Fitbit Air data right into the Pokemon ecosystem. It literally takes just these 2 easy steps to start researching Pokemon sleep styles. First, you allow Google Health to sync to Health Connect. Second, you set Google Health as your primary device in the Pokemon Sleep app settings. And once you do that, an invisible pipeline opens up. Without you having to push any extra buttons or open any menus at night, your biometric data just starts quietly and securely feeding directly into your gameplay, syncing up perfectly every single morning. So, are you a restless, light sleeper, or do you sleep like an absolute rock? Once you're synced, your health stats translate directly into gameplay by categorizing your specific sleep type. The game actually analyzes your real overnight biometric data to figure this out for you. And this categorization is super important because it determines exactly which kind of Pokemon will gather around your virtual campsite when you wake up. It creates this highly personalized experience where your unique physical habits dictate your in-game discoveries. I mean, waking up to find a rare, curled-up sleep Pikachu is the direct dopamine payout for getting a good night's rest. This completely reframes the entire morning routine. Instead of hitting snooze or dreading the start of the day, users are genuinely eager to wake up and see what they've caught. You aren't just going to sleep because you have to anymore, you're going to sleep to build your collection. It's a powerful psychological shift that transforms a really boring biological necessity into a highly anticipated daily event. And the core mechanic tying this whole shebang together is Snorlax's Strength. The higher your Fitbit sleep score, meaning the better, deeper, and more consistent your rest was, the more Snorlax Strength multipliers go up. A strong Snorlax acts as a massive magnet for new and rare Pokemon. It creates this perfect synergy where better real-world sleep guarantees better in-game results. The game constantly reinforces the idea that your physical well-being is the ultimate key to unlocking the best digital content. Finally, let's look at Chapter 5, Price and Premium Perks. At $99.99, this device positions itself perfectly in the market as a highly accessible entry point. Sub $100 is a massive psychological sweet spot for consumers. It's so much easier to swallow for someone who's curious about sleep tracking, or maybe a parent buying this for a younger fan, compared to investing $300 or $400 into a flagship smartwatch just to monitor their rest. Currently listed as coming soon for pre-order, staying just under that $100 mark makes it a fantastic, low-barrier option to enter the Fitbit ecosystem, especially with that unique Pokémon branding attached. But beyond the hardware itself, we really have to look at the monetary value of what's bundled inside. Every band includes a 3-month free trial of Health Premium, and this significantly bolsters the overall return on investment. You aren't just paying for the tracker and access to a free game, you're essentially getting a quarter of a year's worth of advanced premium health coaching at no extra initial cost. This gives you plenty of time to establish a healthy baseline and experience the full depth of the actionable guidance before deciding if you want to subscribe long-term. Ultimately, it's a fascinating look at how we can successfully trick our brains into building healthier habits just by wrapping them in something we genuinely enjoy. By removing the friction, lowering the price barrier, and making the data genuinely fun to interact with, this collaboration hits all the right notes. So I'll leave you with this final thought to consider for your own wellness journey. Are you ready to turn your bedtime routine into a daily Pokemon adventure? Because if you've ever struggled with your sleep schedule in the past, giving your rest a little Snorlax-powered boost might be exactly what you need to finally get on track.